Good evening, Summer Calm. Hello. It is, as I'm recording this, the evening of Monday, the 17th of July, and we are rounding into what is realistically our final week of this course. Yes, it is a whirlwind. It goes by pretty quick. Couple things for today. We want to talk a little bit about the first part, probably all of Module 5, and also a couple new things and buttons that I've clicked that you need to know about here. Very first thing, right off the bat, I want to talk about the fact that your final grade, your current course mark, should be showing. Now, well, this comes with a caveat. I'm still in the process of marking the some of the career exploration assignments. I'm also still in the process of marking some of the case studies. If any of those have fallen behind a couple days, I apologize. I'm working my darndest to try to catch those up. That being said, your current mark is shown here on the grades page. I've snipped this so it didn't grab any students' information. This is from somebody who dropped the course after the first assignment. And I'm going to point out that in CVE Learn courses, in this course specifically, we actually have something weird in that all of the grades of things that you have not done count as 0. So the grade that shows here is actually the grade that you would get if you do nothing from here on in. So if you see this grade and you're happy with it, then that could be your course. I hope you don't look at things that way if you're the kind of student that's gotten that far ahead at this point, but hey, that's how the math works. If you're seeing a grade that is below 50 at this point, it is very possible that we're just waiting on some things to get marked, that we're waiting on the final module, which does include a significant number of assignments as well. I mean, it really is almost a third of the course. So at the end of the day, this is just so you have the information of where you are at. Any students who haven't accessed the course in the past few days or haven't been active in assignments, I will be making sure that some emails go home. So don't be surprised if that happens, or if you are in that boat, you've been on vacation for a few days and you're just coming back to it. Drop me something in the discussion and say, hey, I'm back. I'm planning on catching up on these things. Here's my plan. I appreciate those communications very much. On that happy note, there is a piece about module number 5. So let's talk module 5. At this point, you should be starting module 5 towards the middle of this week. I know, though, that I have received a good number of resumes and cover letters, which means that people are pretty close to this. On the checklist, if we just hop over to the actual schedule here, we've actually got the resume and cover letter due tomorrow, and the reflection point number 2 and module 4 quiz on Wednesday of this week. And then towards the end of this week, you're going to start to look at module number 5. I do want to get ahead of that a little bit because you've all figured out the resume and cover letter at this point, I hope, and it's something where you've probably seen some feedback and maybe you've even incorporated some of that feedback. The goal is that you walk out of here with a resume that works. Now, for module number 5, we are talking all about resource choices. What do you do with money? And that includes things like how do you get yourself into your own place after you graduate high school, whether that's as a post-secondary student somewhere, or whether that's out on your own working, whatever the case might be, that's what this is. Now, there are a handful of assignments here that you do need to be aware of. I want to start quickly with the budgeting assignment, and this comes in 2 varieties. You can either do the budgeting assignment, the app review assignment, sorry, or you can do the alternate assignment. For the app review assignment, find a budgeting app and follow the template to assess how effective it is. That being said, the other one, and this is one that students tend to have more freedom on, and also ones where there's a few things that I have to address. This is the alternate budgeting assignment, and this is a chance for you to kind of tell me a story and show that you understand the concept of budgeting that you've learned in the lessons. This story here, it recommends you pick a purchase, something like a car or some item that you want to buy, and make a budget for you right now to make this work. I'm going to add another thing because this is also related to something that you may be looking at as a major purchase or investment in some cases in your very near future, and that might be post-secondary. If you're somebody who's looking at maybe going to university in the next couple of years, this is actually a very good place for you to budget out what that first year might look like. Now, a couple students have already reached out to me and they've said, I'm doing this as a budget for my first year of post-secondary, and I'm getting a negative number, and the assignment says I have to get a positive number because I want savings. If this comes out as a negative number and you're a post-secondary student, simply put notes in the margins as to what the story you're telling me is. Often students walk away with student loans, or maybe they come in with RESPs, or they come in with some sort of scholarship. If you tell me the story about how you are navigating this financial situation, that's what I'm looking for, is for you to show me your understanding of how this budgeting works. Now, everybody should have access to, if you don't have access to the Microsoft suite, you probably have access to Google Drive. You can upload this spreadsheet into Google Drive. You will notice that this spreadsheet actually has a bunch of formulas already built in. So for example, when I put my part-time work in, let's say I enter this as $500 a month, you're going to see that it's automatically going to populate some cells. Okay, so it's the cells that are yellow are ones that you likely can populate by yourself. Ones that are gray, such as taxes, and this is a very good assignment for identifying where you're going to pay taxes. Even if you do the alternate assignment, I do recommend that you at least download this budget and identify those taxes, pension plan, Canada Pension Plan, employment insurance, those sort of things in here. It's a very enlightening experience. That being said, those gray boxes, maybe don't fill those out, and this should actually come out and give you a it'll actually give you your total amount here. If your total amount, let's say we take a let's say a $4,000 vacation, that's going to work out, let's say $750 vacation every month, we're going to see that this is going to come out as a very big negative number. Again, if this is the case, leave me something in the margin here. Just type it in. Say, hey, I'm going to be a university student. I'm planning on taking out a student loan to support me going through engineering school. If that's the case and that's what you're doing, that's excellent. Good for you. Explain this in such a way that it tells me a story. Don't be afraid to use these margins as you finish this assignment and tell me what you are thinking when you do this. Because again, this is your story to tell, and I'm marking you on your ability to manage the resources through the story that you're telling. That being said, another piece, if any of you are more committed to the spreadsheet, what I have actually here may look a little different. This is actually OpenOffice, which is a free version of Office. It's very stripped down. It doesn't do a lot of the fancier things that Microsoft Suite does. However, it is a pretty effective way for everything we do in most parts of school. Highly recommended if that's where you're at with your computer technology right now. On that happy note, there is another assignment that will be coming up, again, this point next week. So this is 7 days out, so you don't have to worry about this now if you don't want to. But the finding a rental property is another chance for you to tell me a story. Highly recommend on all these assignments that you take a look at the rubrics I'm marking you on. And those rubrics, I believe, can be found down here at the bottom of the page. This is going to fire up. It's going to force me to fire up my OpenOffice here. Just drag this open. OpenOffice has a document suite as well. Before you submit these, take a look at the rubric. A lot of the questions I'm getting around things like, well, why did you mark this way? Well, go read the rubric and tell me where you think you would fall on this thing. Coming in with all the information, when you make a point and make a point of arguing about something like this, if you come in with the information, you're a lot more persuasive. That being said, that's the next 7 days worth of work. One key thing you need to understand for this class is that the end of everything for COM, the final due date, is July 25th. That's next Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. At that point, the drop boxes will close and your chance to recover anything in this class will have ended. So if you're already ahead, and I know a handful of people have already finished the course already or are already on vacation, may not even be watching this video, that's excellent. Leave it in the discussion and have that conversation with me, because the communication is what makes this course work. And if you're going to take it right till that deadline, again, please send me a message to say, hey, here's what I'm working on, here's when it's going to be done, and try to not leave this all to the last minute if you at all can. And if you can't, let's keep those lines of communication open. Good luck with the final stretch, and we'll see you in the discussion forum.